All right, what's happening, y'all? It's your boy Rico from Street Scores coming with a Rico report. A lot of important information I need to update y'all on today. Tomorrow, first of all, I will be coming out with my preview breakdown against the Falcons. Y'all already know how that goes. I break down history. I break down the most important matchups. 3 X factors. I give a score prediction. I give y'all the big injury report between both teams, the power rankings according to Bleacher Report between both teams, all of that stuff. Y'all already know how this goes every week for that. But today's video, we have to talk about Curtis Samuel coming off of the injured reserve list. And then I have some practice clips for you to see. You be the judge of whether or not you think he will be able to play against the Falcons. Also, Lions linebacker Jamie Collins was cut yesterday. Should we go get him? I'm gonna give y'all the why and why not, and my conclusion at the end. Also, a lot of roster moves were made, including Kelvin Harmon coming back to the practice squad, and much more to talk about. But before we dive into all of that, make sure you subscribe to the channel, hit the bell next to the subscription button so you get a notification immediately and every time I release an informative and opinionated video just like this one. Again, be on the lookout for my Washington football team versus Atlanta Falcons preview. I will not be live streaming this Sunday. I have some very fun stuff planned for y'all, so just stay tuned for all of that. And of course, man, just make sure you check out the rest of the channel. So much content coming. But without further ado, let's get it. All right, so first of all, Curtis Samuel, who hasn't played a game this season yet due to a groin injury that's been aggravating him since like May, has returned from IR. He was a full go in practice today, as in Wednesday, and Ron Rivera even said he looked good. Now, we're not sure if he's gonna be ready for the Falcons game yet, but it definitely sounds encouraging to hear that from Ron Rivera. I'm definitely optimistic about his chances of playing against the Falcons, not guaranteeing it, but I'm definitely on the positive side because, again, he was a full go in practice today. Like as if he never had an injury, and Rivera said he looked good. So we'll see what materializes from that before Sunday. It's only Wednesday. But, man, I would really like to have a big part of our offense back. I mean, all of those screen passes that Adam Humphries is getting, that one screen pass that Cam Sims got against the Bills, all of that would be Curtis Samuel's plays. All of those drop passes that De'Ami Brown and Cam Sims had, those will be Curtis Samuel catches. So having them back is going to be really important, not only in the passing game, but even in the run game as well, with him being a part of the screen game, with him taking the ball out of the backfield. So I'm excited. And again, I promised y'all some Curtis Samuel clips, so here they are. Moving on, ex-Lions linebacker Jamie Collins is a free agent right now. And they gave up. The Lions gave up. They were trying to trade him for the past few days, and no trade was materializing, mostly because of the money behind it and the questions of, does Jamie Collins even still have it? And we're going to take a deep look into that. So they just released him. They couldn't get anything in a trade. I guess not even a 7th round pick. Teams are willing to just hold out. And now he's just a free agent out there for anybody to grab. So now we have to dive into whether or not we should get him. Well, first of all, Jamie Collins is making a fully guaranteed $8.8 million from Detroit this year, $5 million bonus, and a $3.8 million salary. So with him making that much money from a team that he's not even on anymore, he can prioritize fit and which team could use him the most and bring the best out of him. He doesn't have to prioritize money. Again, he's making almost $9 million already this year before he signs with another team. So when he signs with another team, that's just going to add to that and take him over that $9 million total that he's making just this year alone. So a team doesn't have to pay him big money. I'm pretty sure being a Super Bowl contender may factor into it, but also fit. Do you have great pieces around him? Do you have a great scheme? All of that type of stuff. So we'll see. First, we're going to start with the good Jamie. And he's so up and down. He goes from having like a Pro Bowl season to just disappearing, come back, another Pro Bowl season, disappears again. So I don't know, man. He's coming off of a bad season with the Lions. Maybe even though it's still only midway through the season, maybe him going to a new team is going to revive his career and get him back into that Pro Bowl level that he plays at. Because when he's at his best, he's definitely a top 20-something linebacker, top 25 at least. But the biggest question is, are you going to get that? Because even last year, First of all, he was his best when he played for the Patriots in 2019. Among the 66 off-ball linebackers with at least 30 targets in coverage in 2019, Collins was the only one with a passer rating when targeted under 73. He allowed just 27 receptions from 34 targets for 205 yards, 0 touchdowns, and 3 interceptions in 2019. But again, this is when he was at a high. He had his low last year and was having a low this year for sure, which takes us to the bad Jamie Collins. I mean, even just so far this season, he's played 100 defensive snaps and is one of the main reasons the Lions have allowed 76 points within just 2 weeks. He only has 10 tackles and a fumble recovery in those 100 defensive snaps. And even Dan Campbell said, look, Jamie has made some mistakes and it certainly wasn't his best performance. And that's probably the nicest way you can put it. Wikipedia was blunt with it. Wikipedia already said that Jamie Collins is playing for the Arizona Coyotes as of right now. But we can go to that Green Bay game on Monday night. Everybody watching. He was bad. And most importantly, it wasn't even just how bad he looked. It was the fact that he looked lethargic, like he didn't care that much, like he wasn't trying his hardest. I mean, he literally looked like one of the slowest players on the field, which is inexcusable. You could even tell the Green Bay Packers game plan was to just beat Jamie Collins to the sideline, because all of Aaron Jones's 6 receptions were to the outside. He had 6 receptions, 48 yards, and 3 touchdowns to the outside. Jamie Collins' responsibility for the team. I mean, the Green Bay Packers literally just attacked Jamie Collins and it worked pretty much every time. And then there was even one play where he was trying to make a tackle. He was the last line of defense, and all he did was put like an arm on him like it was one hand touch, not even 2 hand touch. I mean, there was no real attempt to make the tackle. And then also, 2nd and goal in the first quarter with 3 minutes and 50 seconds to go. You can go look at that play against the Packers. He has no effort. I mean, literally setting the edge is his sole responsibility on this play, and he's applying no effort at all to set it off. He's getting no push. I mean, he's even further back by the time Aaron Jones is crossing the touchdown than he was before the ball was snapped. I mean, he got no push. There was no effort to set the edge. He was literally just out there walking around, basically, applying no effort. There's no reason that a receiver should be able to block you that well as an outside linebacker. There's literally just no reason. It should never happen. Again, it's not even just that he's playing poorly. It's the fact that he's just giving no effort. And what scares me, again, is the fact that the Lions just was like, whatever, man, we'll just get rid of him. Our linebacker group isn't even that good, but you gotta go. And it should be an even bigger red flag that, you know, a lot of people wanted to trade for him. The Detroit Lions were willing to just release him for free. That should tell you everything you need to know, and I'm really happy we didn't trade for him. And it's funny too, because like, why pay Jamie Collins to play for you when another team will? Poor Lions, man, they got finessed. They ended up paying Jamie Collins $20 million for 16 games with the organization. That's terrible. So at the end of the day, I mean, maybe he's better than Jon Bostic, so you could take a chance at him for that. But bringing in a Jamie Collins does not fix our linebacker problems. Again, he's been terrible this year, and it's not even just his talent. It's not even just his production. It's his effort too. Maybe he comes here, gains a new gear, being around Chase Young and all of these leaders like Jonathan Allen and Terry McLaurin, and then maybe it motivates him to get back to his Patriot self, his 2019 self, because when he's at his best, he's a great coverage linebacker, not the best run stopper, but we need help in coverage right now, and he would at least fix that. So again, I don't think Jamie Collins is the answer, but it's kind of like, what could it hurt? And at the end of the day, he's not a huge upgrade over anybody we have, but he's also not worse than Bostic. So if he can come here for cheap, at least just have him amongst the group. I'm not necessarily saying that he will start. I'm not necessarily saying he'll get a lot of playing time, but to me, again, with him making $8.8 million from the Lions already, if he comes here on what, like a veteran minimum, why not? See what you can get out of him. Again, if you can kickstart him being motivated, you may get a good linebacker. I mean, at the end of the day, 2019, he was better than any linebacker we have on our roster currently. So if you can just get any of that magic back, that would be great. As long as you sign him to a veteran minimum, it's a win-win. If he's terrible, like you expect, you just continue on doing what you're doing right now without him, and you didn't have to pay too much money to do it. Moving on, the Washington football team also had some roster moves. They gave 8 free agents tryouts, and 3 of them were tight ends, so that may be saying something. The Washington football team cut wide receiver Dalton Schoen and defensive tackle Gabe Wright from the practice squad. They chose to protect quarterback Kyle Shermer, center Keith Ishmael, DB Danny Johnson, and defensive end Bumi Rutimi on the practice squad, so no other team can touch those 4 guys. And then part of the tryouts were tight end Nate Becker, tight end Nakia Griffin Stewart, tight end Matt Sabert, defensive lineman Miles Brown, defensive tackle Tyler Clark, defensive tackle T.Y. McGill, center Tyler Gauthier, and guard Nolan Laufenberg. And just to let y'all know, Tyler Clark's from Georgia, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So no big moves other than the fact that we finally brought back Kelvin Harmon on top of all of that. So we do have Kelvin Harmon back, just to let y'all know. He's not on the active roster, but he's on our practice squad. And at the same time, he's not one of those 4 protected players. So if another team wants him, they'll just come get him. But he's been a free agent this whole time since he didn't make the 53-man roster. So it looks like no other teams want him anyway. So I'm pretty sure he'll sit firmly on our practice squad until we either want to elevate him or we end up releasing them again. I hope he goes out there and proves he deserves a chance to make the 53-man roster, because this may for real be his last chance in the NFL, for real. And then injury report, you have Charles Leno. He had a vet day off, didn't participate. Brandon Sheriff with his chest injury did not participate, even though I don't think it's too serious. And Matt Ioannidis with his knee injury was limited. Even though he didn't play against the Bills, I think he will be ready to go against the Falcons. And then lastly, the biggest worry for me is cornerback Benjamin St-Juste. He's in concussion protocol. He ended up finishing that game against the Bills, but he did not participate in practice today, as in Wednesday. So we'll see how that situation is going throughout the week. Hopefully he can play against the Falcons, because if it's not him, then it's going to be Torrey McTyer getting a lot of minutes. And Dale Roberts, he hasn't even been active for a game yet, and he may even have to play. So this Benjamin St-Juste thing may be a little bit more important than a lot of people know. And then lastly, in very random news before we get out of here, Eric Flowers in his press conference today said that he thinks that Antonio Gibson is the best running back he's ever played with. And that's really interesting, because he's played with Saquon Barkley. I mean, it was very high praise. He said it with so much confidence. So that's really interesting. I can't wait to see more out of Antonio Gibson. That screen pass for the touchdown when he had against the Bills was amazing, and it showed that Christian McCaffrey potential. He's never going to be used as much as a Christian McCaffrey, but maybe that's for good reason, because we see Christian McCaffrey can't play a fully healthy season to save his life, whereas Antonio Gibson may get banged up here and there, but he hasn't had any serious injuries other than that turf toe. And even then, he returned shortly afterwards. He just wasn't himself. Either way, that's still very high praise. And to have somebody as talented as Antonio Gibson on this roster, we're definitely lucky to have him. We just need him to get better vision, and we need Scott Turner to learn how to use him better. No reason we threw that screen pass for that 73-yard touchdown and then never threw him another screen pass in the game, ever. The only other target he had was when he ran out to the flat. Not another screen pass was called for him. I just don't understand. And then there was a lot of interesting press conference quotes from Taylor Heineke, from Ron Rivera, Chase Young, and all of that. Y'all can go check that out. I just thought that one was the most interesting, because the other ones are conversations that we can dive into for hours about what's wrong with the defense and Taylor Heineke and all of that. I mean, well, one interesting thing about Taylor Heineke is that even though he's from Atlanta, he didn't grow up a Falcons fan. His dad was a Green Bay Packers fan from Wisconsin, so he grew up a Packers fan. So, hey, man, I like him even more for that. Shouts out to Taylor Heineke for not rocking with the Falcons. We do not rock with the Falcons on this channel, but he better be a UGA fan. That's all I know. But yeah, man, that's the end of this video. Please get in the comment section. Let me know how you feel about everything discussed in this video. Please like this video if you liked it, if you learned anything. And as always, man, just stay tuned to the channel, man. Plenty of content coming, man, for sure. And as always, I appreciate all of the support, man. Big shouts out to everybody that donates to the channel. I appreciate y'all so much. Big shouts out to all of my sponsors, especially my Pro Bowl sponsors, whose name you see scrolling on the screen right now. Man, I really appreciate y'all. I'll catch y'all later. I'm out.